3 farmers in the same Iowa county. 3 trade-ins to Fendt in the last 18 months. None of them told their neighbors until the new tractor showed up in the yard. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern showing up across the Corn Belt right now. And most of it is happening quietly because nobody wants to be the first one in the coffee shop to admit he switched. This is Farm Gear Pro. Today, we are breaking down exactly why this switch keeps happening, what the numbers actually show, and why so many farmers are doing it without making a public announcement. Let's get into it. Start with the number that actually triggers most of these decisions, and it is rarely the sticker price. A farmer running a late-model John Deere 8R or 9R who hits a software-locked fault code mid-season is looking at dealer labor rates between $150 and $180 per hour before a single part gets ordered. John Deere dealer labor rates: $150 to $185 per hour before a single part gets ordered. A mid-complexity electronics repair triggered by a fault code can run 3 to 6 hours of labor minimum, putting the bill between $450 and over $100 on a problem that may be entirely software-based. That is not a worn-out machine. That is a fully functional tractor being held hostage by a diagnostic system the farmer cannot access himself. Run that scenario 2 or 3 times across a single season, and the recurring cost stacks into thousands of dollars on a machine that never actually broke down mechanically. Not a worn-out machine. A fully functional tractor held hostage by its own diagnostic system. The Federal Trade Commission sued John Deere in January 2025 under the Sherman Act, specifically over this dealer-only diagnostic structure that creates exactly that kind of recurring cost. A federal judge refused to dismiss the case in June 2025, allowing the antitrust claims to move forward toward further proceedings. A separate class action produced a $99 million settlement in April 2026, with Deere committing to expanded diagnostic access by the end of 2026. FTC lawsuit. John Deere, January 2025. Sherman Act, motion to dismiss denied June 2025. That settlement closed one legal track. But the federal antitrust case remains active as of May 2026, and the machines on dealer lots today still run the architecture that triggered the lawsuit in the first place. That gap between what is promised for the future and what is currently true on the showroom floor is exactly the kind of detail a farmer running numbers at his kitchen table notices. It is not abstract policy talk to him. It is the difference between a Saturday repair he can handle himself and a Saturday spent waiting on a dealer technician who is not coming until Monday. Gap between what is promised and what is currently true. The kind of detail farmers notice at the kitchen table. Now flip to the Fendt side of this comparison, because the contrast is not subtle once you look at it directly. The Fendt Vario continuously variable transmission has been in production since 1995, refined across 3 decades without an architectural break. That transmission delivers continuous torque with no shift points. The engine settles at whatever RPM uses the least fuel for the current load, automatically, without operator input. Fendt Vario. Continuous torque, no shift points. Engine finds lowest fuel RPM automatically. Under partial load, which is the majority of a working farmer's actual day, that engineering difference shows up directly on the fuel receipt across an entire planting or harvest season. On a 2,500-acre operation, running 500 hours in a season, documented fuel efficiency gaps of 8 to 12% translate into real money sitting back in the operator's pocket instead of going to the fuel supplier. That is the kind of number a farmer can verify against his own fuel receipts within a single working season, not something he has to take on faith from a brochure. 8 to 12% fuel efficiency gap. Verifiable on your own fuel receipts within 1 season. The European Union adopted a binding right to repair directive in 2024, requiring manufacturers selling into the EU to provide owners with tools, software access, and documentation to fix their own machines. Because Fendt sells heavily into that market, its diagnostic architecture was already built around open access before that directive became legally required. That single fact is the reason a Fendt operator with a sensor fault can pull the panel, swap the part, and get back to work without a dealer technician driving out to type a password into the machine. EU Right to Repair Directive. 2024. Binding. Fendt already built around open access before it became law. AGCO has publicly supported farmers' right to repair their own equipment across its full lineup. Diagnostic tool access, service documentation, and independent shop access as a stated corporate philosophy rather than a settlement obligation. So why is this switch happening quietly instead of loudly? Because that question matters as much as the numbers themselves. Brand loyalty in farm country runs generational. A man whose father and grandfather ran green is not announcing at the co-op meeting that he just traded for nature green paint from Bavaria. Brand loyalty runs generational. Nobody announces switching colors at the co-op meeting. He just does the math privately, signs the paperwork privately, and lets the new tractor sitting in his yard do the talking whenever a neighbor happens to notice. There is also a real social cost to being first. Nobody wants to be the man explaining to 3 generations of customers and neighbors why he walked away from the brand his family ran for decades. So these decisions happen one at a time, behind closed doors, until eventually a whole county starts noticing the pattern without anyone having organized it. Real social cost to being first. These decisions happen one at a time, behind closed doors. Before we go further, if Farm Gear Pro is giving you the real numbers behind decisions like this, hit subscribe right now. We cover this every week. Real operating costs, real legal developments, no dealer talking points. Hit like and share this with any operator quietly running these numbers himself right now. Back to it. Now the dealer network reality, because this is the honest limitation that keeps a lot of farmers from making this switch, even after they have run the math. John Deere still carries the largest dealer footprint in American agriculture by a significant margin over every competitor combined. John Deere, largest dealer footprint in American agriculture. Still true in 2026. For an operation where dealer proximity during a breakdown is the deciding factor, that infrastructure advantage is real, and it deserves honest acknowledgement rather than being waved away. AGCO has been expanding the Fendt dealer network, specifically across the upper Midwest and Northern Plains, with the Fendt Lodge Customer Experience Center in Jackson, Minnesota, serving as a regional training and service anchor. 5 years ago, finding a Fendt certified mechanic in Iowa was a phone call that might go nowhere. Today, it is a drive, shorter than it used to be, but in many rural counties, still longer than the John Deere dealer down the road. Fendt dealer network, expanding. Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, still thinner than John Deere in many counties. That gap is closing, not closed. And any farmer considering this switch needs to factor his specific county's dealer proximity into the decision honestly before signing anything. Now the resale signal. Because the second-hand market does not have a brand preference, only price discovery based on real transactions. Used Fendt units across multiple series have been holding resale value consistently through 2025 and into 2026, according to Sullivan Auctioneers and Steffes Group results. Used Fendt units. Strong resale through 2025 and 2026, Sullivan Auctioneers, Steffes Group. At the same time, late-model John Deere 8R and 9R units are showing up at Ritchie Brothers and Big Iron auction lots across Iowa, Illinois, and Nebraska in volumes that did not exist 5 years ago. That auction data is the market's honest verdict. It is not influenced by brand loyalty, nostalgia, or what a man's father used to drive. It reflects what buyers are actually willing to pay for each machine at comparable hours, and the trend lines on both brands are diverging in ways that are worth watching closely. Auction data, not influenced by loyalty or nostalgia, just what buyers are actually willing to pay. Custom operators, the men running 100,000 acres a year on contract who cannot afford a tractor failure during a contracted job, have been among the most visible buyers showing up at Fendt dealers in recent seasons. When custom operators move, that signal carries weight beyond their own purchase decision. These are professionals whose entire business model depends on equipment, reliability, and cost per acre precision. They do not switch brands on sentiment, only on numbers that hold up under scrutiny. Custom operators. Entire business model depends on reliability. They do not switch on sentiment. You can see the shift at Farm Progress in Decatur and at Husker Harvest Days in Grand Island. rows of Fendt Nature Green parked next to rows of John Deere Green in numbers that would have looked unusual 5 years ago. Now, the honest counterpoint, because this comparison is not one-sided, and pretending otherwise would not serve any farmer actually weighing this decision. John Deere's precision agriculture software stack, for an operation fully committed to it, remains a genuinely integrated system that delivers real productivity value at scale. John Deere, Precision Agri Stack, genuinely integrated system, real productivity value for committed operations. For a large corporate operation with full-time dealer relationships and the financial scale to absorb service costs as a routine line item, staying with green remains a defensible business decision. The categories where John Deere is holding ground are specifically the categories where scale insulates an operator from the pain that smaller and mid-size farmers absorb directly. The mid-scale family operation, the backbone of American agricultural output, is exactly where this quiet switch is concentrated, because that is where the software lockout cost and the dealer trip charges hit hardest relative to total revenue. Mid-scale family operations, where the switch is concentrated, where lockout costs hit hardest. That is the actual shape of this trend, not a mass exodus, but a specific and growing segment of serious operators doing the math and acting on it privately. So what does the kitchen table math actually look like for the farmer running this comparison right now in 2026? Annual debt service at current financing rates on each machine, projected fuel cost differential based on documented CVT efficiency data, realistic dealer rate repair cost on the Deere versus independent repair cost on the Fendt, and projected resale at comparable hours from current auction data. Debt service. Fuel cost differential. Repair cost comparison, projected resale, the real model. The real. Run those 4 lines honestly with your own operations numbers, your own region's dealer proximity, and your own financing rate. That model, not brand loyalty, is what is actually driving this quiet shift across the Corn Belt. The farmers making this switch are not doing it because Fendt ran a better advertisement or because European engineering sounds impressive at a dinner party. They are doing it because they sat down with their own numbers, found a gap that mattered to their specific operation, and made a financial decision the same way they make every other decision on the farm, quietly, carefully, and without needing anyone else's approval. They ran their own numbers, found a gap that mattered, made the decision quietly. That is the real story behind why this switch keeps happening without headlines. It is not a movement. It is hundreds of individual spreadsheets arriving at a similar conclusion. And that is exactly why you will not see this trend on the evening news or in a glossy trade magazine spread. It is not loud enough for a headline, but it is consistent enough that every dealer principal on both sides of this comparison already knows it is happening, county by county. Not loud enough for a headline. Consistent enough that every dealer principal already knows. Farm Gear Pro is going to keep tracking every auction result, every dealer network shift, and every legal development on both sides of this comparison as 2026 continues. Because, whether you are the farmer running green or the one already running nature green, the numbers behind this decision are only going to get more relevant over the next few seasons. The next farmer to make this switch in your own county might already be running the math right now, quietly, at his own kitchen table, the same way the last 3 did before him. Farm Gear Pro. Tracking auction results, dealer shifts, legal developments, both brands, every season. Thanks for watching Farm Gear Pro. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.